Welcome to the Ridgecrest Lost and Found podcast. It's a place where we talk about all kinds of random things. We discuss things with various levels of expertise. My name is Logan.
I'm Steven. Have we ever had expertise?
Well, yeah. We've had numerous experts
What
just
would
about
you say?
weekly.
What would you say is the least expertise we've had on an episode and the most expertise we've had on an episode?
Tyler Carroll.
Tyler Carroll talking about seasons. Because he is technically our seasonal expert.
Okay.
Most experience?
Tyler was on twice, so
Well, yeah,
are you
the
saying
other one-
most seasoned or most expertise? Now you've got me confused.
He's probably has the most expertise in eating hot dogs, and he's got the least expertise in seasons.
So he was our most and our least.
Probably.
Yeah.
That kind of explains Tyler to a T.
Yeah.
Shout out. Anyway, today we've got Jared Cummins here. How's it feel?
Man, this is a long time coming. I'm still ashamed that my one-time intern got to be on the show before I was.
Yes.
So that's what I have to say about
Yes.
that. But it's awesome. Thank you very much, Logan, for having me.
We're pumped. I'm excited. We've been friends since seminary,
Yes.
and that would have been 2015.
15?
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
yeah,
2015. Yeah, that's right.
yeah. Because I
That's
went,
right.
I went right out of college.
Yes.
and so long time ago. It feels like a long
Feels like a long
ago.
time ago. A lot of hours, a lot of fun time. Lived within a city. Didn't
Yeah.
even know each other.
No. And the thing that always gets me so upset about seminary is that we went through you could go through anywhere from 85 to over 100 credit hours to get your master's. And an MBA is 36 hours. So like Jim Bob, who gets an MBA, did it in a year and a half. And we are like busting our tails if we can get it done in 3.5. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
try to do that, and then also shout out to David Eldridge for that 30-page single-space paper that we did right before Christmas time.
Love
Yeah,
it.
thank you, Dr. Eldridge.
It was great. There were a lot of guys like that. That was like me and Ford, another guy's been on the podcast. We both took Old Testament and New Testament at the same time online. And the required reading is that you read the Old Testament for Old Testament, the New Testament for New Testament. So we were expected to read the entire Bible and on top of coursework in like 4 months. And we 100% did that.
You think he was honest? NOBTS?
That happened. It was required, and so we did it. Okay?
Okay.
Steven, you're looking at me like you don't believe me.
Okay.
It happened.
Okay.
Anyway, our icebreaker, our thing to bust up.
Did you ever say what he does? Like where he's?
Well, I don't even know what your job title is now.
It's a pharmacist. I'm a professional Walter
Okay.
White.
There you go.
Pharmaceutical sales rep.
There you go.
I'm so used to like when you introduce somebody, you say like
I know.
what they do, but you're just like,
I'm
hey,
just,
we're friends.
I wear many hats.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
he's
get
worn
many
many
hats.
hats. And your job has changed, so I just couldn't remember what the new one was,
Yes.
and I didn't even think about it. Anyway, like I was saying, before I was interrupted by Steven.
Good job.
My icebreaker is one that is going to fire Jared up. Steven, get ready. This is going to be one thing that I minimally care about it. You're not going to care about it or even know what happened. Are you ready?
I'm not gonna care.
I'm going to minimally care about it, and I mean minimally. But
Okay.
you are not even going to know that this event happened.
Okay. So I'm not gonna care.
No,
Okay, I'll prepare for that.
I'm letting you know.
Okay.
Jared is a Florida State Seminole fan. You know where we're going?
100%.
What's that?
Florida State University. They have a football team
Okay.
called the Seminole. They have lots of teams that are their mascot is the Seminoles. Something happened. I'm gonna let Jared explain what happened and the travesty of the crime that was committed,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna attempt to debate him on the merits or demerit of what happened, and it's gonna be a good time.
What's a Seminole?
It's a
It's
Native American.
warrior.
Okay.
It is shocking that hasn't had to be changed.
My
yet.
brain went to a bird. I expected that
Well,
to be
that's
a
a
bird.
that's a very fair, valid point
Sounds like
because
a
look at
bird.
what Mississippi College is using. They're using a hawk, Tom a hawk.
Yeah, I know.
But that's also because the mascot's nose was offensive to the Choctaw Native tribe, so that's fair. The Seminoles make a lot of money and they do a lot of good jobs representing the Seminole Nation, so I think that's why they've kept it. So I think
Well, I guess, yeah, I
Okay.
guess it's not. It's not like Redskins or it's not derogatory.
Yes, it's not. Yeah, that's
So-
different.
So to get at what Logan is saying
Yes,
is a
let's
travesty.
let me dig myself out of this.
The
hole.
travesty is Florida State was not selected to go into the 4-team college football playoff. As some of you, there's 4 teams in the college football playoffs. They are a undefeated 13-0 Power 5 conference champion, the only Power 5 conference champion to ever be left, undefeated conference champion ever to be left out of the college football playoff. Now, I would love for the debate and the questions to begin.
I have some pre-debate questions that I want to get because I don't know the answers to these.
Absolutely.
Who did they beat in the conference championship?
They beat Louisville, who was actually ranked number 14 in the conference, or in the national rankings, which the College Football Playoff Committee created,
Okay,
with a number 3 quarterback as well.
We don't have to get into this way too deep.
Absolutely.
I read an article that was talking about how not the only reason, but a lot of reasoning had to do with injured quarterbacks and players, and that was reasoning for not making it, which is that's a wild accusation to make. Hold on, I'm trying to keep.
No.
I'm
this is
holding
good.
your reins back because I know you're going to get into it. Second question: how do you feel about Jimbo's buyout and the amount of money that he's getting paid? Because there is a connection.
Which one do you want to go at first?
The
Jimbo?
Jimbo. Just because that doesn't pertain to our icebreaker.
In the words of Coach Orgeron, he can eat a lot of hamburgers for the rest of his life. Lots of hamburgers. But, I mean, I think it's absolutely absurd for a man to be fired and get paid that much money. I think colleges should put clauses if coaches are not upholding their end of the deal. Then there should be existentially amount of money, or I'll probably use the wrong word there. There should be a X amount of money within that contract that is withheld if they're not upholding their end of the deal performance-wise.
That's the wild part to me is I'm gonna guess that there's areas in other businesses where that does happen. Maybe a CEO gets a buyout clause or whatever. It's crazy to me that by the letter of the contract, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not winning X amount of games. You're not building your program. Yet we're going to pay you to not be our coach.
I think his payment's $11 million a year for 30
Someone told me
years.
like 10 grand a day.
Yeah, I think you guys would have to look into the Google for that one, but think about that kind of money every day for the rest of your life. That's a lot of
and is he officially
cookies.
retired, or he'll probably go work somewhere else, won't he?
Does he have the pride to work under somebody?
You don't think he'll be able to be a head coach anywhere?
I don't necessarily know if he has a good enough reputation to be able to do that. But again, who's to say he wouldn't?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody believes in redemption. Bobby Petrino's coaching at Louisville now. So, I mean,
It's so crazy.
if you don't know that story, go check it out.
Yeah,
But,
that's something that you need to Google somewhere else.
But back at your first point, the quarterback being out. If you don't know, Jordan Travis, starting quarterback for Florida State, had a significant ankle injury at the North Alabama game. Very fair point to bring up. Okay, he's out. Well, the second string.
But is that fair? Because
I don't agree
because they still
that it's
won
fair,
the games.
because what people don't look back and see at is after that game, the backup quarterback came in. They were actually down 13-0 to North Alabama when the starting quarterback got hurt. Backup quarterback comes in, they win by 40. The playoff committee chairman goes in front of everybody after that game, and he says, the game was not determined, or we do not think Florida State is not a good enough team to take them out of the playoffs because of the backup quarterback being in. He played well enough. He came in, and they were down by 13. He came in, they ended up winning the game by, I believe, 40-plus points, and there's a lot of good players around him. The next week, they play Florida, University of Florida, which, for all of you people that don't know, SEC school, in the swamp, rivalry game with a backup quarterback. They beat them. Chairman comes on again and says, we're keeping them at number 4 because we think they're a good enough team to be a number 4 team, but then they drop them after they then go and beat the number 14 team in the ACC championship game with the 3rd string quarterback, and the 2nd string's only going to miss that game because he's in concussion protocol. So
the real question is, why is Florida State's offensive line so terrible that all their quarterbacks are getting injured?
So very good point. On both injuries, or good question, both injuries, the quarterback had ran for a substantial amount of yardage to get a first down. The one tackle on the quarterback that broke his leg, one of those tackles that, you can't call dirty, and the kid wasn't intentionally trying to hurt the quarterback. It just happens in contact sports.
Yep.
It was a terrible injury, and I don't blame anybody for that. The Florida game, the kid has slid as a quarterback. He slid his knees on the ground. 2 players from Florida come in late and hit him.
Oh, that's a big no-no.
So, and one of them's kicked out of the game for that. So, obviously, but then again, it goes back to my argument of why do we play the games? The coach made the great point. He said, why to play the games? If any of you are very familiar with the history of high school football in the state of Mississippi, South Panola was 89-0 when they played Meridian. Meridian beat them. Then let's go back to the SEC championship. Georgia had won 29 in a row. They were the team expected to win the game, but guess who won the game? Alabama. My question is then posed, if every other conference in college football has been left out of the playoffs one year, why can't you leave the SEC out one year?
Which is your main point, is that you think Alabama got put in because they said SEC has to be represented in the college football playoff. Is that the main point you're making?
So some of my points are there's never been a year without the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
It's ironic that the year that the SEC, there is valid reason to leave the SEC out. The SEC's not left out because the team that's put in before Alabama at the number 3 spot is the team that beat Alabama.
Which is who?
Texas.
Okay.
And then my argument also comes up as to, just take this, chew on this for a second. You are a team who beat a group of 5 team, not Power 5, but a group of 5 conference team, UCF. You beat them 17-7, but you were winning 10-7 late in the 4th quarter. You beat them barely. You beat a 4-7 Arkansas team who was 1-7 in conference play by 3 points. It takes a prayer in Jordan Hare. I'll take the credit for that. 4th and 31 to beat Auburn, who's 6-6 in conference play, who the week before was beat by New Mexico State. And then you lose by double digits to a team at home. You lose by double digits to a team at home who's ranked ahead of you in the college football playoffs. But you let them get in over Florida State. The only team in America that can do that is Alabama. That leads me to the next point, because the next point is conflicting of what the committee chairman has said, and I've got it quoted. The committee chairman specifically, I took this, so I had this for you guys. The committee chairman specifically told there's a big issue with Liberty being in over SMU in a New Year's Six bowl game. Liberty was undefeated. SMU has a better track record. They play better opponents, which I would agree the SEC has better opponents than Florida State. But to the same concept, SMU had a big win over Tulane, obviously, but Liberty just continued to win throughout the year. Liberty's awarded. Florida State continued to win throughout the year. They're not awarded.
That's the one wild part. There's not one wild part. And a wild part for me is that aren't 2 of the 4 teams, they have a loss?
2 of the 4 teams have a loss. Texas has a loss to Oklahoma,
right? Who
lost to Oklahoma State, who not only was beat by South Alabama, they were beat 33-7 by South Alabama.
Ooh.
South Alabama. Everybody remember that.
It's funny how South Alabama and North Alabama are a part of these conversations but
you have to include it because it's the body of work, it's the framework. But at the same time, I bring up a lot. The other point, I'll bring up a point that people argue with me. Well, nobody wants to see what happened to TCU last year in the national championship game. I think the final score was 60-something to 3, Georgia over TCU. Fair point, but TCU also beat Michigan in the semifinal game
to get there.
So would you say that the committee is prone to making mistakes? And if the answer is yes, then you could obviously vouch and argue that the committee made a mistake this year.
But what they're saying is like the sweep it under the rug thing is like, well, next year we'll fix it. And what are they doing next year to fix it?
They add a 12-team playoff, which you'll still have an argument for the 13 seed.
Right.
There will always be that argument on who's left out, because you have human opinion.
Right.
And I mean, you're always going to have human bias. But, the other question I have is, why was the chairman of the playoff committee texting the Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, the day that the selection came out? And then also, why did Kirk Herbstreit have the 4 teams that are in the playoff? Why did he have their helmets behind him before the playoff committee made their selection in the order of where they were going to be ranked at? I think that was exactly the way it was worded.
Because he's a great analyst and he knows what he's doing.
Debatable.
Steven, do you have any interjections or anything you want to say at this point of our icebreaker?
Oh, my camera's dead. I've been taking notes. They're not pertinent to this at all.
Okay.
But I've been taking notes. So, no, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Were there any notes that you wanted to say, or?
Jimbo can eat hamburgers, parentheses, lots. Something about Power 5. Something is getting someone is getting paid to not be a coach, parentheses, I'm qualified for that. Some guy named Bobby is in Louisville.
You pretty much nailed it.
There we go.
You pretty much nailed it. So just to put salt in your wound, who is your pick to win the championship?
Ooh, to win the championship. Because you have Michigan, Alabama playing, Texas and Washington.
I haven't seen Washington play a single time this year. You think they're pretty dominant? I mean, they've won every game.
Quarterback's potentially number 2 for the Heisman, but they don't play anybody that plays defense.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
So, honestly, I think the national championship game is going to be played in the semifinals between Michigan and Alabama.
And you think the next one will just be a wash?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think Georgia deserved to get pushed out of the playoff because of their loss to Alabama?
No, absolutely not. But, again, what do you do? And then that also brings my argument into point. Well, if we're saying this team's better than that team, you're saying that Florida State's better than Georgia by the ranking system. Florida State's 5, Georgia's 6.
Do you feel like you've just learned so much?
No.
Do you care any more about college football than you did 5 minutes ago?
I wouldn't say I care more.
It's drama.
But I feel more informed of how people perceive college football, I guess. Didn't realize there was that much conspiracy that went into thinking about college football.
I was about to say there's usually not, but it depends. Everywhere in the country, there's some conspiracy going on all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Petrino and like the playoff and like all this other stuff. And every year there's some college that's getting a fine or they're getting suspended for recruiting and all that stuff. It's just a crazy time. People get very into it.
Mike Leach made the best point years ago. Bless his heart, bless his soul, Mike Leach. Great man. He said years ago, if it's just going to come down to a committee's opinion, why not select the 4 best teams at the beginning of the year and why even play?
It's valid. It's understandable.
Because again, we can take this biblical. David and Goliath. Well, David, you're tiny. You are not you are not the man that needs to go out there on this battlefield. We all know what happened in 1 Samuel.
What happened in 1 Samuel?
He put that rock upside his head. And that's why we need prayer in schools. That's it. Why we need it. It's always something. That was a good icebreaker. I feel like we really warmed the room up here.
Yeah.
I feel like we really got it
Heart's
going.
warmed. It's been warm since Sunday at 11:30. College
man.
football committee.
I actually got to do a recruiting visit to Alabama when I was going through the thing. If you don't know, I was a 2-star football recruit, which means I was just good enough to go on recruiting trips, but not good enough to actually get looked at. But it was a fun time. I went to a few of the big like SEC schools just to do the recruiting days, and the Alabama one was pretty crazy. It was like a senior day kind of thing. So like you did some like camp drills, and then you did a lot of other stuff. But you walked in, and it was crazy because you walk in, and this was in 2011. So
Nick Saban's already there.
Oh yeah, I saw him. Don't think I talked to him, but I listened to him. But you walk in, and there's like like the double staircase like you'd see in big old houses. You walk in, and on every step there's a girl in a houndstooth mini skirt, and they're welcoming people into it. And there's just the whole day was just crazy. And there was a guy there. I don't think they were supposed to do this, but we walk into like some player meeting room, and they brought in some guys to kind of talk to them, like current college football players. And they're like, man, we love it here. It's great. There's not a lot to do in Tuscaloosa, but you can drive to Birmingham. There's shopping, there's clubs, there's all kinds of stuff. And Coach Saban always makes sure that we always have $500 in our pocket, no matter what. And so I was like, oh, I was looking at my dad. I was like, can he say that? Can he say that like publicly, like out loud? And I was like, I don't know. But their O-line coach was like very well known. I don't know if he's still their O-line coach or not, but he took all the O-linemen into the room, like the O-lineman meeting room.
Right.
And he said, look, here's the deal. We're actually probably looking at one of y'all, and I've already talked to him. The rest of y'all, some of you may play college football. Maybe 2 of you will play D1 SEC. The rest of you, you're not going to play. And so I'm not going to waste my time talking about stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you actually learn something. And we spent 30 minutes talking about how to get into a 3-point stance. And then he dismissed us. And it was incredible.
Great usage of the university's money, everybody. So if you want to continue to support Alabama and their endeavors, go after that, guys.
It was awesome. It was one of those where I was like, okay, this is a whole nother level. Because I went to State and Ole Miss. I went to Vanderbilt.
They didn't tell you that, did they?
No, they did not. But and all of them were good. But you went into Alabama, and it was like, oh, is this? I mean, 2011 was like the beginning of the dynasty.
That's like walking into just your typical trust mark around here, and walk into Wall Street or walk into the market, the stock market in New York. It's a completely different world.
Yeah. Mississippi State locked us all in a room. That was even crazier.
Did Coach O rip his shirt off?
But it was the spring game, and so they were busy. But it was a recruiting day for all the seniors, and so they basically what they did is they took 4- and 5-star recruits, and they went. You were going on the field. You were going. You were actually doing stuff, and all of us 3, 2, whatever stars. They put us in this like alumni room. It had pictures of all the just famous alumni that come out of Mississippi State, and we were in there for like 2 hours. Like the game had started, and some guy just walks in. He's like, "What are y'all?" There's like 50 of us, and he was like, "What are y'all doing? Y'all got to go." And we were like, "No one said anything." And they're like, "Here's your seats over here." So then they took us to the bleachers to sit for the game, and I was like, "I don't think this is for me."
Free tickets, free food. Maybe missed the game a little bit,
but it was good. Vanderbilt was the one that I was like, because Vanderbilt was one I was like, I'm not going to go play at Ole Miss or anything, but if I could get a scholarship to Vanderbilt, I'd go. I would, and I didn't really want to play football at that point. I was pretty burned out.
Yeah,
but I was like, I'd figure it out for Vanderbilt, and we did it was like a camp. And at the end of it, I had it was of all people, their DB coach took me aside and he said, "Hey, I've got your stuff here. I just want you to know we are very low on scholarships because we don't have anyone leave. A lot of schools every year you have people that transfer out and it's all different now, the transfer portal. This was a decade ago. But they said, we don't have people leave or drop out, so we have less scholarships to give out than everyone else. And we're really, I forgot what he said. It was like, we're really focusing on receivers this year is who we're trying to give scholarships to. So he's like, we'd love to have a conversation with you about a preferred walk-on, but we're not going to give you scholarships. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool that they at least talked to me about
honest integrity up front.
Yeah.
I got more respect for Vanderbilt now, so that's and it's cool that you had those experiences, though. I mean, that's really cool.
And then I had a lot of fun ones. Southern Miss thought I was a junior when I was a senior. And so they called me like in July and was like, hey, we messed up. We were really excited to watch you and see you develop this next year. And I was like, I'm going to college. And he was like, yeah, here's what we can do. We'll give you a preferred walk-on if you'll be here next week. And I was like, I'm already going to Mississippi College. Like, I've already got
Choctaws.
Go Choctaws. Like, I've already got it figured out. And he was like, oh, well, sorry. it was crazy. But it was a good time. Got a phone call from JSU. I mean, I had a lot of fun little recruiting things. It was a good time. Speaking of that, tell us, you can take 30 seconds, you can take 3 hours, whatever you want. Tell us about who you are, where you came from, your mom and them, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, grew up here in Madison. I mean, technically, if you look at things before my parents got divorced, lived in Hinds County. Parents got divorced, came to Madison. Madison is what I claim. Madison's home for me. So, at a young age, faith wasn't very prevalent with both my parents. But my grandparents is probably, a lot of people can relate to this. You have those grandmothers, grandfathers that really, want to see your faith develop. So I was in what everybody enjoyed as children. Snack time at VBS when I understood what church was.
Yes.
Cookie and Kool-Aid. Real Kool-Aid. Not these jammer pack craps that y'all send off to camp now. No. Loaded down with sugar. Want to know why we're misbehaving in the car on the way home. What were you going to say?
Have you been to Gator Junior's barbecue in Madison?
No, that's the old, that's over there by the Crumble. It's in the strip on the opposite end of the old Pizza Inn.
So we went, and the food was great. I made the mistake of I was trying not to drink a bunch of sweet tea because I didn't want just a ton of sugar, but I wasn't feeling water either. And they had something on there called Gatorade, and I was like, "Oh, great! I'll just get." I'm sure it's like a Powerade in the vending machine. What I found out is it wasn't Gatorade; it was Gatorade, and it was Gator's mama's Kool-Aid recipe, and I mean, I can't express to you how much Kool-Aid packets they must have thrown into that.
How delicious was it?
I thought I got diabetes halfway through. I mean, it was.
Did it take you back to third grade?
Yes, it was.
That's all I need to know. Third grade, I don't know. Did you go to Madison Avenue or Madison Station? Great place to be.
Yes. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so
the food was great. That Kool-Aid, I just wasn't ready for it.
So grew up in Cross Creek. My grandmother was really wanting me to go to church with her. She lived right next door to us.
When did your parents get divorced? Like, how old were you?
I was in second grade, I want to say, when my parents got divorced. Knew of the Lord, but didn't know the Lord that young of an age. Moved to Madison. Had some really good neighbors that invited me to Vacation Bible School at First Baptist Madison. Years later, ended up becoming a member at First Baptist Madison. I gave my life to Christ as a ninth grader. February of 2004, gave my life to Christ in the Family Life Center, Community Life Center, whatever you want to call it, the gym. Gave my life to Christ that night. Jason Robertson was our student pastor at the time over there. And since then, my life has not been the same. Truly, through ups and downs, Logan, you've known me for a long time. The one constant in my life has been Christ, and I'm so thankful for what He has molded me into through trials and tribulations, walking through divorce myself. stepping away from professional ministry and just doing ministry as I go has been an amazing time in life, where I thought that was the end of the road. Honestly, I was only seeing that this is just the beginning. And the Lord's been good and very healing and restorative during this time. But yeah, this Madison's always been home. This area will always be home to me. And a unique thing we had talked about prior to the podcast, kind of one thing where I've even found my faith even more so is through a activity where psychos are considered to take part in is CrossFit. We talked about that a little while ago.
Yeah.
But that's my life right now. I'm if you guys watch Breaking Bad, I don't encourage it. I'm a professional Walter White, but I'm a pharmaceutical sales rep. But primarily, I want my life to be known for being a Christian.
I thought you were going to say known for being a CrossFitter.
No. Want my life to be known for my walk with Christ, but then also shout out to my YouTube channel, CrossFit.
That's right.
Jared Cummins, 323. Built that off of Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart as if working for the Lord, not for man. So there you go. So that is just briefly a little bit more about me. I did play college football at Mississippi College. Go Choctaws. Was there when we won a conference championship, when we were nationally ranked, when we did beat the number 3 team in the nation, and going back to the playoff committee. That's why you play games.
Didn't even know we played football over there. That's
yes.
crazy.
And I have the
I'm
conference
also
championship.
I also went to Mississippi College.
See, I mean,
Choctaw
he didn't even know that we played. Yeah, Choctaws, not Tomahawks.
I did know we played, but that was a joke regarding I didn't know that we were considered good at any point because I never hear him talk about it.
We were great. Mississippi College was great in the 90s.
Okay.
The 89s when they won the national championship.
Yes.
90.
There was a time when Mississippi people went to see Mississippi College play
Football.
See, that's news to me.
and then when he played, there was like a little blip where they were good, and
then I played there. We were 8-2 my first year. Competed for the conference championship, didn't win. Then junior year, ended up beating the number 3 team in the nation to win the conference championship. Went to the Division III playoffs. Had a lot of great fun, and then from there, I went on. I had the luck of being nominated to play in the D3 All-Star Classic. I got to have a few professional workouts prior to or after post college. I was a long snapper. Funny note is I did punt in a game too, so that was unique being on the opposite side of things. But loved my time at Mississippi College, and then ultimately that's where you and I met, is in a classroom at seminary at Mississippi College through NOBTS Extension Center. And since then, that's just really briefly about myself.
no, that was great. Give me a not inappropriate your favorite seminary story. I have to put that in there.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, there is one that I would love to throw out that pertained to Yoda, Aaron, and Clint, but I cannot share it. If they watch this, they will know. I hope they're dying out laughing when they watch this. But I think there's 3. They're top 3, and I can't decipher between the 3. You should know all 3 of them.
Okay, because there were some that I wasn't a part of.
No, number 1, it didn't direct. You were in the classrooms,
right.
I believe. Number 1 was when Pratt put his hands on Clint. Professor put his hands on one of the students. It was great, but rightfully so.
Besides the fact that he completely deserved to have his hands put on him. Maybe not by the professor.
Not by the professor, but it was classic that happened. Number 2, we had a gentleman who was absolutely bleeding Southern Baptist preacher in the middle of nowhere. We all miss him. We, to this day, will never forget Chet Ferguson. And
shout out.
Dr. Rowland was sharing with us, I'm drawing a blank now, very well-known speaker, maybe from Southwest, Russell Moore.
Yes.
Dr. Rowland was speaking on Russell Moore's stance on something, and Chet Ferguson spoke up and said, well, you can tell Russell Moore to shut up. That's number 2.
That story is not funny unless you know Chet.
Unless you know Chet, that's yeah, absolutely. And then number 3, I don't think this is inappropriate, but there's a old film describing like the harvest, and it's basically putting into perspective harvesting souls for Christ. Well, this is looking at a view of the harvest from a family who's farmers, and the family experiences the loss of the dad. It's not funny.
No.
But when the father dies, Clint Jackson is laughing in the middle of class at the father's death. And Dr. Belser looks up from his desk with the eyes of, I'm going to murder you, to Clint Jackson. Those are my 3 best appropriate stories.
Why was he laughing?
There's some backstory to that can't be discussed, but he had a thought and he had a text and he happened to start laughing, but it wasn't like
bad timing.
Yes, but it wasn't like he was like guffawing.
Wow.
He was hee-hawing and he wouldn't stop to the point where it was awkward. Like he had the giggles for like over 30 seconds and he couldn't stop.
It was partially had something to do with the challenge every day in seminary. We only went on Mondays, was to send a text message to the group and see who could make the other laugh in the most inappropriate time.
Oh man, so that was a winner.
He got it. He got, as they say.
Yes, he got. No. Absolutely.
If you don't know, the way that we did seminary, so the quote normal way to do seminary is you go to a seminary, you live on campus or you live close, you go full time. What we did was called Extension Center, and it was where 95% of us had full-time jobs, usually probably 90% student ministry and a couple of older pastors.
Terry.
Good old Terry. Andy Fullerton, do you remember him?
He would definitely speak out against Chaz.
Yes. But great guys. And so you were there all day Monday because most of us were doing full credit, like anywhere from 8 to 12 to 15-hour credit semesters, but you did it all in one day. Yes. And so you were there either from
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning to, if you took a night class, 8 o'clock at night. Yep. Most of us probably got out there at probably 4 or 5. So you were just with this group of like 25 guys
all day.
I don't think we had any girls while we were there. There may have been a couple that were just kind of in there. It was what's her name?
And one of the guys was married to her.
Yes, and she was cool. But it was mainly guys, and so you just hung out with student pastors and like 40-year-old senior pastors, and had a great time.
Yes,
it was awesome. I tell people like the actual seminary classes, like they were good, but I would say go to seminary so that you can build those relationships.
Also, I'll say another great point. This is a shot at Chris White. Was the day that Nick Hughes ripped his review up. Chris, you can thank me later.
Yeah, classic. But it was a good time. I was very happy to be done. I think it took me 3 years to get done, and I was busting it. Like the last year, I did 18 hours in the spring, 8 hours in the summer, 18 hours in the fall.
While he's a full-time minister and dad and husband.
It was wild.
Respect on his check.
Because I was like, I can't do it another. Because I think Ford was going to graduate before I was. And I was like, I just can't do that. I can't go another year.
Yeah, you got to get it done.
Yeah, I emailed the lady who was at like the business whatever, and I was like, can I do 18 hours of graduate level work? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, let me just try it. And if I can't do it, I'll let you know we won't do it anymore.
And you did it.
And I did it. But I was writing 3 papers at a time, like at the same time every time. And because once you get out of like Greek and Hebrew, you're not taking tests. You're just writing papers.
100%.
Which was great for me because I was like, I can write a paper.
Yep.
You're just writing 3 at a time. And so I would work on this and I'd put it away and I'd work on this, put it away. It was a good time. It wasn't like some of our friends that got their wives to write papers for them. I actually wrote all of them.
That's right. I wrote mine.
Bunch of
sapsuckers. That's exactly right.
But I did go, when I graduated, I went down to New Orleans, and you wouldn't believe the length of the nose that people would look down at you because you were Extension Center. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry that you couldn't be here at
you couldn't have been at the Extension Center.
Yes. I'm sorry that I've had a job for 3 years.
Yeah, really. I had to work, support myself. I mean, come on.
It was a good time. But I just remember there were 2, it was a guy in front of me and a guy behind me in like the line to walk in. and they're like, "Oh, Professor so and so," and blah blah. And I was like, "I have no idea who you're talking about." And they're like, "Are you one of those? You're an extension guy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "I'm so sorry."
Staying away from him.
Yes. The one funny part about graduation though is that they have all of the professors that like for the seminary they sit behind like in the choir loft of the chapel, and when a student walks by, if a professor had one of those students or had an interaction
Shake
or a
hands,
relation, no, they would
hug.
stand up.
So nobody stood up for you.
I walk across and not a soul gets up. Even like the online professor, I had made no impact on any of those professors. They didn't remember my name. And I had taken 86 credit hours with them. And they were like, "Who? Logan? No. See you later. Keep
Here's
walking."
your paper.
And I was literally like, "Please just give me this paper. I'm so ready
Just
to
go by.
It was awesome.
This guy didn't do anything here.
No.
Mm.
What's our time? 46.
Literally, it was at 46:03. How
I'm
did you?
so good at this.
Get out of here.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into our bracket challenge, our bracket fight.
Okay.
So, Stephen, part of Jared's YouTube channel is I wouldn't say it's half CrossFit. It's probably 75-25. CrossFit / faith walking. Well, I didn't even think about the faith part. It's a percentage of CrossFit, a percentage of faith, but
Fair.
then it's also some conversations about sneakers.
Yes, absolutely.
Would you call yourself a sneakerhead? Because I know there's
Yeah, that's a very valid question. I would. Yeah, 100%. I'm rocking a pair right now.
yeah. Do you want to tell us what you got?
Yeah, this
Before
is
you-
a pair of Jackie Robinson dunks.
There we go.
R.I.P. to the man.
The man.
42. Ball hard like Jackie Robinson.
So I thought this would be fun, Stephen, because Jared knows a good bit. I don't want to say a lot, just because someone's going to be like, he didn't know jack about shoes. He knows a good bit about sneakers, shoes, whatever.
Yeah.
I know nothing. I assume that you know nothing.
I own 3 pairs of shoes.
What are they?
He's got a pair of Chacos
I've
on.
got Chacos.
Okay.
I've
Maybe
got-
a pair of Keens.
I've got I don't even know names of. I just know Chacos. I know Chacos.
Keens are like a closed-toed Chaco.
No. I've got
That's disrespectful.
a nice pair of shoes for formal events in
Yes.
church, and then I've got a pair of boots for like outdoor.
A pair of
hiking and
sneakers
stuff.
would have gone well with that outfit today.
Wait, so you don't own a pair of like tennis shoes?
I don't. I have in the past, but I just
You got to watch out for people like that. They're sick.
But like,
that's my flaw. I don't
so
have sneakers.
that's the flaw. We
That's it.
found it.
Yeah.
It took us a long time, but we found it.
Yeah.
So what if like, what do you walk Flynn and Minnie in? Chacos?
Chacos, yeah.
In this weather?
He
Not
does
in
wear,
this weather. I wear the boots for.
Okay.
so he does wear Chacos 10 months out of the year.
I mean, you can here.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
So what if like Anna's never gonna like convince you to go participate in like a 5K walk where you need tennis shoes, or
If the need ever arose, I would get the.
you would just go to
I would get the shoes I
Academy and
needed.
get
Yeah.
some?
Yeah, but I live such a hermit lifestyle that just isn't a need for me. I get out to walk my dogs. That's about it.
And that's when you see the sun for the first time.
Yeah.
We're trying to establish like a stereotype that he's like a hermit shut in video game.
I actually am such a shut-in to where they told me I do not get enough vitamin D, and they actually prescribed me vitamin D.
Yeah, you need to take some of that vitamin D3. I don't know what the 3 means, but they say vitamin D3 is
Probably
better.
the third one they found because
He might know more than
Yeah.
us.
you're the pharmacist. You tell me what's.
Pharmaceutical
He's
sales
the-
rep.
He talks to the pharmacist.
Yeah.
Crap. I had a question or thing. Oh, I got it. This
Okay.
is going to tie in our icebreaker, our bracket fight, and then we're going to get right into it.
Yes.
We have a lot of shoes to get through.
We'll be fine. We'll speed through it. We won't have a lot to say, believe me.
Yeah.
Head coach for the Dolphins. What's his name?
McDaniel.
Everyone knows that his drip game is strong.
Yes, he had a pair of off-whites on a few weeks ago.
I saw a meme about his off-whites because everybody was freaking out about
Do you
it.
know who's the creator of off-white?
No. You don't know. You're having to look it up. Oh.
Virgil Abloh, R.I.P. That's why, for all of you students out there that listen to this podcast, Dirk, what happened to Virgil? There you go.
There you go.
But to continue,
I
his
saw a
drip
meme
game.
about his off-whites. The game, because everybody was freaking out about his off-whites.
right?
And the guy zoomed in on him, and it was a positive meme, which is very rare
There-
these
yeah.
days. it was saying, what's his name? McDaniel.
Yeah.
They're like, McDaniel is such a sneakerhead because he was so committed to the shoe game that he was wearing like a size 14. And what they had zoomed in on was where his heel was and where the back of that shoe was like 3 inches. And so normally I'd be like, oh, they're about to just ruin this guy. But really they were like, no, he's committed.
Committed to the sneaker game.
Yeah, because that's all he could find.
Very valid
And
point.
so he was wearing
Very
it.
good point. I didn't see that, but I do have that picture because someone sent it to me, so I'm going to go back and look at that.
Yeah, he zoomed in. It was great. That's never been an issue for me, but I don't know. It is what it is. All right. So our bracket fight. I'm going to speak while Steven is getting pulled up and ready. Oh, good. It is. We're trying to determine the best sneaker of all time.
Okay.
Now, Jared will be our expert on this because I don't care at all about sneakers. Steven does not even own sneakers.
I don't.
And the one I don't even.
Do I get a vote? Is this
Of course you do.
I think you do. I'll give you a history of the shoes.
And so,
Okay.
just know that I'm going purely based off of aesthetics and what I think they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you find one that you believe to be astronomically expensive, and by astronomically I mean over $500,
Well, I'm already. Yeah,
I want you to make that known for me and Steven.
Yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Because I'm always interested in that.
Okay.
What's the nasty looking star shoes that all these girls are spending $600 on?
Nasty looking stuff.
Goose
Golden
egg?
Goose.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a whole nother
Golden
thing.
Goose. Wait till we get to the second pick on
Did you
here.
just say goose egg?
Golden. He said goose egg.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right. Steven's going to show the shoes. Jared's going to tell us a little about the shoes. I'm going to pick which one I like.
Okay.
We'll go off of votes.
Yes.
So that's how we'll do it.
We
Absolutely.
we are good.
Number
to go.
1, you have a Yeezy on the left. On the left, that is a Yeezy 350. On the right, you have, if I'm correct, that is a Sean Witherspoon Nike Air Max.
We have no means of correcting you if
I don't care.
I'm-
Either
I'm-
way.
I'm
So
a
your
hun-
word
I'm-
is law
I'm-
in this
I know it's an
podcast.
Air Max,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure that's the Sean Witherspoon.
I'm going to give you a hot take right out the gate. I think Air Maxes look ugly.
You would be exactly correct.
I don't like how they look.
So you're going Yeezy.
I don't think Yeezys are going to make it all the way for me, but
Have you ever put a pair of Yeezys
Never.
on your foot?
never,
One of the have you put an Ultra Boost on your foot?
never.
Never put a Adidas Ultra Boost on.
No, wait, I have put a, yeah, I have.
Do you remember what that felt like at all?
Super comfy.
So times that by 2, and that's what the one on the left feels like.
So
Almost
good foot feel.
very, very good foot feel. Yes.
Okay.
I'd wear a pair of those.
The black ones?
Yeah, nice solid color.
I
I
think
don't-
I
not
think
too
we're going
overstated.
3,
Yeah,
3,
okay.
3 for the left.
So we're going
Okay.
Yeezys.
You guys see the orange mark on that Nike on the left?
Right there.
Yes. I was
So-
looking at the one on the right because I can't tell what that is.
What did you say about what kind of shoe did McDaniel have on?
Off-whites.
That's a pair of Off-White, the Chicago colorway on a Nike. So you're looking at maybe brand new. If you found a pair brand new, that could potentially be upwards around $5,000.
Ooh.
So not that one.
You're going to say no.
And I think that is the Yeezy 350 Turtle Dove on the right, which if it's the original Turtle Dove, that's a very sought after. That's about a $1,200 shoe on the right.
Okay. I can't really see the turtle dove, but I like the dunks. I don't.
Well, that's a Jordan 1.
whatever.
No, there's a huge difference.
I like how those Nikes look. I don't really care that they're off white or not. That price tag is so crazy that my vote will be the one on the left.
I would not wear either of these, so I will abstain.
Okay. Jared, give me your.
I mean, who's the GOAT in basketball?
Larry Bird.
I mean, that's that's not a bad out of the question argument, but who the shoe was named after, the Jordan 1, I'm going the Off-White Chicago
Yeah.
colorway.
I do like it.
So yes.
So we haven't
Left.
disagreed yet.
Yes.
Okay.
I've never seen that Yeezy though.
Okay, so you have a pair of Strange Love Dunks on the left.
Okay.
Very good shoe. And then on the right, you have the Royal Jordan 1. So the Strange Love, I think, is about a $500 to $800 shoe on the left, the Dunk. On the right, you're looking at, I mean, if you got the original pair, probably comparable in price.
Okay.
Um,
So a Jordan 1 and a dunk are almost the same shoe, but just a
very
little different.
similar. Especially if you had a Jordan 1 low. The only difference is you would have the wings on the back versus what you have on this shoe that I'm wearing, and then that Strange Love. The Dunk was designed as a skateboard shoe. The Jordan 1 was designed as a basketball shoe. So this is a very good collaboration.
Isn't it weird that
of
a
two.
Dunk was a skateboard shoe?
Yeah, which one's which?
Left is a Dunk.
Left is a Dunk skateboard shoe.
That
Right,
makes sense.
basketball.
I'm
shoe.
already talking to you like I'm an expert.
There we go.
I love it.
Doesn't take much.
I'm gonna go.
Strange Love's a good looking. They both good looking shoes.
I'm gonna go left. I don't really have an opinion because they look very similar to
I'm
me.
gonna go right because it looks like a Blue Jay.
Here's also my deal. Is that a mid or a high? What would you call that?
on the right. That's
Yeah.
a high.
I like the big shoes, and so I'm trying not to just
Biased.
be biased on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think
I
I
also
like.
prefer a high shoe.
I think I'll go left though on this one.
Strange Love.
So we're split. Jared will be the
50-50. I don't think you can beat the shoe on the right.
okay.
Okay.
I'm great getting outvoted. I mean, okay, here we go.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So you have a off-white Protro, I think is what you call that. It's a running shoe,
Okay.
just made with the off-white. And then on the right, that is the Northern Lights. That's a high-top Dunk on the right. Northern Light. I have the low-top version of it.
Okay,
That's the reason why I know that.
I like the
Um,
right one just off the bat.
The if I'm correct on that. And then you're looking at, I was just looking at these shoes last night, $1,200 on the right. Off-white Protro, probably $800.
I should have upped my price notification from Jared from 500 to 1,000. That's because I think he's going to be telling me the prices on a lot of these.
I got you.
I don't see the appeal. I like running shoes because
Yeah.
I like to run.
Absolutely.
I don't. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, because I assume that someone's taking an off-white running shoe and they're never running in them.
No, they're not going to.
Ever.
If you have any sense about you.
Exactly. So to me, making a running shoe kind of a sneaker doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think I think a like the one on the right, I think it looks better than the running shoe.
Aesthetically more pleasing.
Thank you. That's the right word. So my vote will be right.
I prefer the aesthetics of the one on the right as well.
We're all on the right.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
We've all agreed, other than the Strange Love.
Yep.
I've
Okay.
agreed with him more. Does that mean that I know more about
Yes.
sneakers than you?
Ooh.
Absolutely.
So you have an original. This is the original bread colorway of the Jordan 1. So
You know
an
how I know that?
original
You know how
85.
I know that?
How's that?
Because you talked about that on the first episode of your YouTube.
That is the original Jordan 1 shoe. If you look for an 85 Jordan 1, I think you're looking at $15,000.
Just because it's the OG.
It's the original. If you have an 85 pair. Now, the one on the right is a off-white Jordan 4. You're looking at about $1,200 to $1,600 on that shoe, because I believe it says Air right there on the side of it. I could be
That
wrong.
is correct. That says Air.
That's a off-white Jordan 4.
A few of them have
Off-white Noir is Noir, and I believe you're looking at $1,200 to $1,600, or the original 85 Jordan 1 colorway.
So my initial thought is I like both of them. I think they're very different. I think it's funny. It's almost like they are two completely different shoes. But one, it seems it's got a lot of details and like little features on it, and then you have just a very basic Jordan, which
Yeah.
is the whole point. It's the original.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick, for me right now, probably the one on the right.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, honestly, it's a toss-up. I do like a Jordan 4. Everybody in the sneaker community would probably go against me because of the history of
That's
that
the thing.
Jordan 1.
Right.
85
Can you buy one of those brand new today?
Jordan 1.
Well, not like an 85, but like that how that shoe looks.
They
it
have
was
they
made.
have retroed those multiple times.
Okay.
You absolutely can. I personally am probably going to go with you, the one on the right, the off-white
Okay.
4.
Okay.
Steven, give your opinion.
I would probably wear the one on the left.
I don't.
He's OG.
I don't love
The writing.
the white. Like, it's just a very bright shoe.
Yeah, I like a good white shoe though. I know I'm wearing black shoes at the moment, but I like a white shoe.
Okay. So you have a Jordan 11 on the left, UNC colorway. On the right, you have a Jordan 3 that almost looks like a Oregon player exclusive. Jordan 3, I could be wrong. Is there any green on that?
I do not see any green.
The one on the right, I can't see very well.
I don't think so.
Okay. So the Jordan 3 no, that's the black cement Jordan 3. There we go. So that's a very historic shoe. You're looking at substantially a lot more money on the right. I can't give you a ballpark number right off the top of my head. I'm going the one on the right, hands down.
I'm going the one on the right, but it's not hands down.
That's a Jordan 11 on the left.
I don't like that shoe. That shoe doesn't do anything
the
for
11,
me.
All white.
I've seen the one on the right a lot of times from different people, and that's probably not my favorite Jordan, but I like it better than the one on the right, the one on the left.
Steven, what do you say?
I think I like the one on the right.
You have elephant print too on that. That makes it a unique feature of the shoe.
I really wish I could get rid of the ads that keep rolling on the top.
You're fine.
Gotten Jared and Dodge and.
Can you zoom in to where they're out of the picture?
It follows me.
It's like they know.
Yep. So we went with the one on the right, correct?
Yes.
Ooh, so
what's that going on
yes,
top?
so that is a Union Jordan 1. So you have the collaboration with Off-White.
Yeah.
This is a collaboration with Union. So you have a Union Jordan 1 Chicago colorway versus the classic that went bananas in 2021, the Panda Dunk on the right.
Yes, it did.
If
I even knew about that.
If you look, basically everywhere, somebody's walking around in a pair of those Panda Dunks. At one point, they were going for $400 or $500. Now you can go into JD Sports in North Park. Any students looking for it, go to JD's. You can get you a pair. One on the right, you're looking at about $3,000 shoe.
One on the right?
I mean, the one on the left, excuse me. The one on the right, you're looking at about you can go into JD's and find them for $150.
I don't like the split thing going on the top of the Jordan ones.
With the Union?
Yes.
With the white?
I would prefer the Panda over that one.
I think I would also prefer the Panda.
I think Steven likes black shoes. That's what I'm getting at.
I like subtlety.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. There's some of these shoes you're gonna hate. Then
you guys got a 2-to-1 vote, so you guys can click that Panda because it's 2-to-1. I'm going Union Jordan 1, but you guys.
I don't know. It kind of makes me want to change my mind because he knows everything about all these shoes.
I told you I'm going off of pure preference. He knows all the backstory and all of that stuff.
Why would you go left over right?
I love the diversity of that. I do like that yellow tag. I don't know if you can see the yellow.
I can't see the yellow
tag. It says it's like UN/LA or something on it. It's for Union LA. It's a skate shop.
Yeah.
I do like the diversity that they brought into the Chicago colorway, that they changed it up a little bit, and it's not just another Chicago colorway.
Steven, you have the final vote. You can change it or do whatever.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him.
There we go.
Man. That's swaying right there. Sales.
I know.
That's what that is. Ooh, okay. So this is another very, 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 actually very controversial over Pastor Furtick. Stephen Furtick wore the ones on the left, and that brought into a lot of controversy over why he's wearing a shoe that's that expensive. It's a Jordan 1 shattered backboard.
Is it over $1,000?
Yes.
I'm gonna guess.
But
sorry, I don't have my.
But
mind. I'm gonna guess the price.
Go ahead.
You finish.
I will say this: if he got those on release and didn't pay resale, he only paid $185 for them.
And there's a chance that he did that.
There's absolutely a chance that he did that.
So that's some kind of a Jordan 1 in a what colorway?
It's a Jordan 1 with the shattered backboard colorway. The orange and black is shattered backboard.
You can buy that today for $4,000.
No, significantly less.
Oh, good.
Yeah. About it. I think a shattered backboard, depending if you get the original shattered backboard or the rendition, $2,000 or less.
That's still insane money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
You threw me off when you said Furtick. I was just expecting astronomical.
Yeah, on the right, you have a Jordan 4. I think that's the white cement. Just a classic Jordan 4 colorway. This one's a toss. I'll let y'all decide on this.
I'm realizing I kind of like a Jordan 4.
Which one's that?
The one on the
On
right.
the right.
That's not the first Jordan 4 we've seen though.
No, it's not.
So
You want
I
Union.
voted
The all white Union Jordan 4.
I voted for that one on the
I
last
don't
one.
like the what do they call the part that goes right next to the
tongue?
The tongue, yeah, I don't like that.
I kinda
It
like
seems very pronounced.
It's definitely pronounced.
Okay, we're that there's a split.
Well,
Well, I don't know. Nobody's given a final.
I'm going left.
He's going left.
You're going left.
No, I hadn't said yet.
I don't know. I like that. Is that orange?
It is
Colors are an
orange.
issue for me. I think the orange looks really good on that.
I like the orange and black. Normally, I wouldn't like orange because it's not a subtle color, but I think that looks pretty cool.
I'm very okay getting outvoted, but I am going to choose the right one.
Okay.
Man, I
So you went left.
I went left.
he went
Okay,
left.
so you're the
you went
decision.
right.
You're the
I'm the
decision.
deciding factor. I think if you're going for a shoe with the most versatility, the best look is the one on the right.
There we go.
We're looking for versatility. I think you got to bring versatility as an option somewhat into the equation. But that doesn't mean I do like the Ooh,
We're going back
Yeah,
around.
we're
right.
second round.
Yeezus versus Jordan.
I don't. So like when you said comfort for those,
Yes.
it added a whole new thing for me because I don't like how Yeezys look.
Mm-hmm.
So my vote will be the one on the right.
Jordan 1. Off-white.
But Steven loves a black shoe.
He likes the black
we
shoe.
we figured this out.
I like the color of the Yeezy, but I don't know if I'd like the way it looks like wearing it. I don't know. So it's a toss up for me.
Ye did a different look when he came up with those. I mean, that was the whole thing.
All of his shoes. All of them.
All of them.
Hands down for me is the Chicago Off-White. Jordan 1
Yeah.
on the right. Hands down.
So you're saying that one's gonna go far. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. This is actually, I retract my statement on the Northern Lights because now that we have it zoomed in, that is the actual first Yeezy shoe on the right, and it's a Nike.
Oh.
That's why it's so rare. Now that I see that clearer, that is actually a $20-something thousand shoe.
Okay. So that is a Yeezy.
That is a Yeezy. It's
just
a
not
Nike.
It's not Adidas.
Exactly, because Yeezy's first shoes were Nike.
Steven, can you zoom way in on that right shoe?
I
mean,
only
that-
zoom
this-
straight in.
Oh.
Let me make sure that I'm not incorrect on pricing, but I'm pretty sure, guys, that's $20,000 shoe.
I like that shoe. I think it looks nice.
The Yeezy.
Is that like a leather strap that goes over the center forefoot?
Yes.
I think it's kind of fun.
I'm not sure I feel about the leather strap, but I like the rest of it.
Oh, there it was right there. That's the Yeezy Air 2. Okay, I was a little off on my pricing. Let's go Logan size shoe.
That's a
The closest
15.
to Logan is a 13 for $8,000.
Yeah, which is
My size
Crazy.
is 7,200, so I was a little off on that. But
part of the reason why I'm not in the sneaker game is because of
or is that the Air
inventory.
1?
These headphones are dying.
The
I
headphones.
just lost the right ear.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
This could die.
Yeah.
The blue on the Jordan 1 is not my favorite. And
Okay.
blue's my favorite color, but that's not really doing it for me.
Yeah.
I like the black. My vote's the one on the right.
I agree.
It has nothing to
The
do with the
Yeezy.
price.
I'll go. I think it's a 3-0
Yeah.
vote for the Yeezy Air Yeezy 1. Nike Air Yeezy 1 is what it is.
Ooh, here we go.
Ooh, a 3 versus a 4.
The 3 is the one on the left.
3's the one on the right. The 4's the one on the
Yes,
left.
that's what. Yeah.
think
Whatever
I
that
know
little
which way this one's
whatever that
going.
little plastic thing is
It's air bubble.
does it for me.
But both of them
Yeah,
have.
both of them have it. That.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the triangle looking thing on the one on the left.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just
yeah.
a little
on the
lace
4.
stay. Da.
I don't know. The white one just looks like a prototype that was never meant to leave the lab. You know.
I'm gonna go the one on the right for the sole purpose. I don't like the writing, the air.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
agree.
very fair.
But if that was off, that shoe would go a long way for me.
Interesting.
I'm not saying it'd win, but it'd go a long way.
I'm going with the 3.
But I know
on
that
the one
that's
right
three.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's very popular. I know people like that.
I say we're going with the one on the right then. It's a 2-1 vote, but I say let's go to the one on the right.
You would have picked
I would have picked
4.
the 4, but I say let's go with the one on the right.
Why would you have picked the 4?
That's a close vote for me.
I would have picked the 4 because of
Steve's about to get swayed again.
personally,
It's gonna take some swaying
It
to
looks better in person than the 3 does.
Okay.
Because you're looking at a shoe on a
That
screen
is
versus
very
in
true.
person,
Yeah.
in hand. The white's not as bright in person as it is, but that 3 is a good looking 3.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go on record saying I've now figured out that I like a Jordan
A 4.
4.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna vote for the 3.
You see what I'm saying though? Like it
Absolutely.
like it just looks like a shoe that has.
There's something that needed to be added to it to
Yeah.
complete it.
But that's not
Let's
the
go-
only Jordan 4.
But let's go. No,
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Here's another
I know.
4.
And I like it more than I like that Union shoe.
The white cement versus the Union 4.
Steven, there's very little black on this shoe, so
On
So I think I like the color palette of the one on the right more.
what are the colors of the one on the right? I can't tell what's
white, gray.
that is a
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really hate the pronounced tongue.
Yeah, you're not a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of that.
So it's gonna make you go left.
Maybe. What are you thinking?
I've already voted. I like a
He's going
4.
right,
Okay. What do you think?
left.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're the decider.
I'll go left.
That's not surprising. Is this our championship for this side of the bracket?
Yeah, I think we're
Ooh.
getting close.
Oh,
I think this is maybe semifinal
okay.
for round one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go the one on the left.
But here's his argument. I want to bring an argument in that he declined another shoe. Look what's written at the bottom of that shoe.
It's got air on it.
Oh, that is very true.
I just want you to see the whole shoe because you kicked the
It's
shoe
a lot.
out.
It's a lot harder to see when there's like the color and everything on the shoe. It just was a lot more pronounced on that white one.
I guess that's the deal. Is it was more pronounced,
Yeah.
But you also have an orange tag on this as well too.
Yeah.
meaning it's from Union.
Off-white.
I thought you said the orange tag on the last one was a Union one. The Union LA
Yellow tag.
Oh, okay. The off-white tag doesn't bother me. And I don't know why that doesn't. I know I'm very contradictory right now, but I think I would probably go the one on the left and the one on the right.
I'd probably still go with the one on the right.
This is a toss-up. I'm gonna have to go the one on the left. It's a good-looking shoe.
I like
It's
it.
a very good-looking shoe.
Is that considered the Chicago colorway?
That is.
So just the red and the black. It's a
And
Chicago.
there's you another one right there.
I don't like that Union shoe. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. One on the left.
I agree. One on the left.
Because you voted yes to both of these, haven't
Yeah,
you?
I did.
You were
And,
very.
and the one on the right, I don't really like it. I would not wear that shoe. I just really disliked the other shoes.
What color is that upper? It's white and what? Is
This-
it gray?
It's white and gray.
Okay. That
With
gray.
and there's that yellow tag.
That gray. Yeah.
Yeah.
The gray is just throwing me. It looks kind of like mint green from here.
Definitely not.
I know. You know it's my
yeah,
eyes.
we're just gonna have to go with the 3. I'm outvoted, so the 3 wins this one.
Okay.
But you need to let people know that you're getting outvoted. Just
Yeah,
for the fans.
I am being outvoted. I would go with the one on the right, the Chicago Union colorway on the right, but
It's just a subtle shoe.
it's subtle shoe. Yeah,
This is
versatile.
this is the risk that you ran when you got into a bracket fight with two guys that don't care about shoes.
Hey, that's okay though. Everybody's entitled to their opinion of style.
And I will get whenever we do a bracket fight, I get more personal text messages than any other time we do anything.
We need
People
to,
get fired up about this.
I would love to hear some of those text messages because I've never heard any of the criticism.
I'll start
of our
sending them
opinions.
to you.
And I know that if people are criticizing our opinions, people are definitely criticizing my opinions.
Adam Horn, Chris White, Nick Wilson are I'm going to get texts from all 3
Chris
of them.
White.
Text me about every episode.
Well, Chris White, I hope you're listening. You can just shut up.
Okay.
Championship round.
Tell them what it is, and then I'll tell you my vote.
So here we are, championship round.
I keep
The
forgetting
Jordan 1,
Yeah, there we go.
Chicago Off-White. The man literally walked into the NBA in a Jordan 1. This shoe revolutionized Nike's sales. The Jordan 1.
It did.
Then
Versus
you have
what?
the Jordan 3. Came along, obviously, after the 1. Created the 3 for a more comfort shoe. You can see it's got the air bubble on it.
Jordan 1s are not that comfortable, or just in comparison?
In comparison, not as comfortable as the 3. He played in both of these shoes. That's not red on the tongue of that 3, is it?
Yeah, there's some red striping on it.
You didn't see that either, did you?
That means something.
No. It's just
right there.
this is
and there's a little bit of red on the lace as well.
yeah.
Like. Which I like. That.
It gives it a few small distinct things. One of the most special 3s is the Eminem 3. That I believe he had the Eminem 3 was made for the Super Bowl of the Rams and the Buccaneers. Was that who played a few years ago? Rams and Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Buccaneers
Where
won.
when they all of them were on stage.
Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent.
May have been.
Whatever year it was,
No, it was
he
2
was
years
wearing
ago.
he was wearing a 3 that had an E on it. But then again, so anyway, there's you a little.
That's perfect.
Information.
What I was going to say is we can't forget that people listen to this audio, so we need to make sure we name every shoe for every time.
That's correct.
I'm going to go the one on the left, the Jordan 1.
Oh wow,
I'm going on the right.
he's going one on the right.
If I was to get a sneaker, I think
That would be the one.
that type, that fit.
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
because I'm realizing now that I do prefer with shoe. I prefer the higher up, but at the same time, like I don't think that would work well for a running shoe. So like
Yeah, but you don't remember. You have to remember that if you're in some places and they see you running in any of these shoes, they're gonna murder you.
Yeah.
Or they'll think you're just stupid rich.
Yeah.
That's
that too.
Just,
I
would still go with the one on the right.
Maybe
Final-
you're stupid rich.
This is
who
the
knows?
championship.
No, definitely not.
This is the championship for this side of the bracket.
This side of the bracket. Okay.
We're halfway done.
Okay. Awesome. I love this. So I'm going Jordan 1 Chicago Off-White.
Boom.
Left.
All right.
Steven, you officially got outvoted in the semifinals.
What on earth?
Here we go.
Ooh.
Here we go.
So that is the Yeezy Red October on the left.
Couldn't
The Yeezy
be
Red
uglier.
October. And on the right, do any of you guys have
Is that a Metcon?
No.
No, that's a Durant.
No, close.
It's a Kobe.
R.I.P. Kobe.
As soon as he said that, I knew I needed to start naming basketball players.
Yep. That's a Kobe.
I like that Kobe. I actually like the Kobe shoe. I can't stand whatever that is on the left.
The back of the shoe
Looks like a lizard.
it looks like you're meant to kick someone with it, like with the heel.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I agree that it looks dumb. I don't know if you're going to say that it looks dumb.
These all look dumb.
No, the Kobe one I like.
I would probably like it if it wasn't the most loud shoe I've ever seen.
But they make some colorways that aren't that loud.
Closest price or the closest size to Logan is a size 13, $15,499.
Which one?
One on the left.
Say what it is again.
$15,400.
No, say the name of the shoe.
Oh, the Red October. Yeezy Red October.
I don't like that.
And then the
It's
Kobe.
definitely red. It's definitely red.
That's a Kobe Protro. Don't know the pricing on that, but
Did his Kobe shoes go up value wise when he died?
several of them did.
Okay.
There's one pair that's about to release. It's pretty popular.
They're releasing it posthumously. Means after he died.
I do know that.
Oh
my
man,
vote's the one on the right.
the Kobe.
I'm going to be controversial and say the one on the left.
You hate that
Wow.
But just because I could turn that into a weapon.
shoe. Oh,
Versatile shoe.
It's a versatile shoe, yeah.
Kanye would love that response.
Yeah.
So
That's the most
I'm,
Kanye shoe I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm going with this purely off a Mamba mentality. I'm going shoe on the right.
There we go.
See, I knew he would, so I just thought I'd throw a fun little. Oh, what happened? Okay. What on earth?
Do you know about the shoe on the left?
No. It looks like a brace.
He'll tell you.
So, have you ever seen any of the movie Back to the Future?
Oh, yeah.
Self lacing or self tying.
So those are the Nike Air Mags.
The bottom, like from here, it looks like it's knitted. Like, all that, it looks knitted. I know it's not, but it looks like it.
So that is the 2016 version. The 2011. Oh wow. For everybody out there, Logan's closest size is a size 13. Last sale $76,000, $925. $76,925.
The one on the left.
One on the left.
Okay.
One on the right is a Yeezy, if I'm correct.
So we all have kids and we all have boys. That looks like a shoe from the brand Carter's that you buy at like JCPenney.
The one on the right?
Yes.
I like the one on the right.
My vote is the one on the left.
I would never wear the one on the left.
Well, now that I know it costs more than some houses,
I appreciate like the reference
salary.
because I love Back to the Future, but I would never wear that.
I didn't have you pegged as a Back to the Future guy.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a great film.
Don't deny it.
It's a great series.
In all the times we've ever talked about favorite movies, Back to the Future's never come up.
It's one of those that I like a lot of movies. Back to the Future is one of those where it's just like it's a great film, but I don't know anybody that would say that, like, it's their favorite.
Yeah.
The shoe on the right, depending on the size, it's a $1,900 shoe.
That's insane.
I would wear the one on the right.
Okay.
I would go Drake for all you young people out there, and I would just hit a Rich Flex shoe on the left.
Steven, outvoted.
So the price is helping in this case just because it's so expensive.
Oh, I think it's a cool. I think.
No, I like. Is that another
we got
Kobe?
Another Kobe and a Yeezy 700.
Isn't that the same one?
It's a different color.
You sure?
Is it? It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It looks the same.
What is the color of the forefoot? Is that like a salmon color? It was brighter on the other one.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go Kobe.
That's a Yeezy 700 on the right. Or is that 700 or 450?
I'm gonna go with the one on the right just because I'm fairly confident
That's the
that
exact,
it's the same shoe.
I don't like the way that Yeezys look. And I know I picked a Yeezy, but it was a Nike Yeezy.
I don't like that shoe.
But you just
I just am very confident that it's already
Yeezy 700 Wave Runner. I despise the shoe on the right. I think it's a hideous shoe.
It looks ugly.
Yeah,
I think it's a hideous shoe. It might be extremely comfortable like my other Yeezys are, but that's a hideous shoe.
Right. Shoe on the left.
Shoe on the left. We're going with the Fruity Pebbles look.
Okay.
That's
and are we certain that that's not the same?
It'll
one?
probably get doubled up in the next round. They'll probably be against each other.
Kobe on Kobe.
Okay.
Okay, so we are doubling up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Shattered Backboard versus the Back to the Future.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that.
Yeah. We're getting repeats on this.
Let's play it out.
Click the Shatterback because we literally just picked the Back to the Future.
Yep. We're getting some from the left side again.
Why are we doing that?
I thought I saw this shoe on the right, so I think they have some repeats.
We'll play it out.
Okay.
Yeah, let's play it out.
One on the left, which is what?
That's the Yeezy.
Nike
Yeezy
versus a Jordan 1 with blue.
Royal.
I picked the one on the left, the Nike Yeezy.
I also
think we're all going the one on the left.
Yeah. It came back.
Here we go. The Weapon versus Carter Special.
This is the craziest bracket fight we've ever had. It went from going so well to just off the rails. So two Yeezys. Dragon whatever versus
Red October.
The Hunt for Red October versus everybody who's had a son.
Yes.
Shoe.
I really hate the strap on all the Yeezys. It just kind of looks like it's there to be there. You know?
Well, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go one on the right. The best of the two worst looking shoes.
I'm gonna go left just because I still think it'd make a good
versatile.
Weapon. Yeah.
I think I'm going left.
See, Jared, I was about to say Jared would wear the one on the left, the dragon's breath or
I would
whatever.
never wear the dragon's breath.
Are we at Fruity Pebbles and Shattered Backboard?
Yeah, I don't know what. Can you see the bracket?
I do not.
We're just playing the game at this
We're just
point.
playing
Play the game.
I kind of like the Kobe.
I like the Kobe too.
I think it's a cool shoe, and that looks like an actual basketball shoe.
This shoe is going to be.
The Kobe's up there.
It's won like 3 times, and it hasn't even gone to a second. Okay, no, yeah. So
oh, here we go.
You got the Nike Yeezy versus the
Nike weapon.
October Sun.
October Dragon's breath.
Yes. I like the one on the left.
I agree.
Everybody's left.
Yeah.
$20,000 shoe. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh.
What's happening?
I don't know.
I
don't know what it's doing.
Okay.
So now we've got the Kobe
I'm going right.
versus the
The
Nike
Kobe versus
Yeezy.
the Nike Yeezy.
Yeah.
I'll go right. Jared, what?
Are we in the
This-
finals?
This isn't
This-
even.
I think this is the final shoe.
This isn't even an argument for me. There's no comparison.
You're going to go left.
I'm 100% going with the Jordan 1
Yeah.
off-white.
I think this is our championship round.
Potentially.
All right. I'm going to go left as well. Jordan 1.
Okay.
But that is a black shoe on the right, which means Steven is.
I would go right just because
He's
there's a
fan the
lot
black
of
shoe.
stuff about this shoe that
doesn't
I
do
would
it for
I
you.
would not wear it.
No, I think that's got to come into equation too. Would you
Yeah.
wear the shoe?
That's what I've been going off of. is if would
I
wear it.
like that. That's a very fair standpoint.
Yeah, I think I can tell
Steven
that's
would
something
be a
that
hype beast.
Mm-mm.
what?
You would not be a hype beast.
But we
No,
knew
not
that
at all.
going into this.
No, yeah, this shoe I can tell looking at it. That's something that someone either wouldn't wear or it's a collector's item, right? Like it's something that people have
Yes,
to have.
absolutely.
And that's just okay. Yeah, that was apparently.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened.
The Kobe went up there though.
The Kobe got far.
I thought it was going to be the Kobe and the
It probably should have been because the Nike Yeezy was on
kind
the
of
other
like Florida
side.
State should have been in.
Oh my gosh. We made it.
Flaws
we made
in the
it
system.
through. We made it through. All right. Jared, any other shout outs you want to make? You've already shouted out the YouTube channel.
Chet Ferguson.
Chet
We
Ferguson.
shouted out Chet Ferguson and told Chris White to shut up.
It's been a good
It's
episode.
been a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven,
I say we shout out Steven for doing this all the
Wow.
time and putting
Slow-
up with you.
slow clap for Steven.
I enjoy it. This is my favorite thing that I do here.
See?
Yeah.
See?
But in all reality, for you, because this is a great concept and it's very entertaining. You guys bring a level of humor when I watch you guys stuff and listen. It's always great.
We have a good time.
We do.
You want to give you two boys a shout out?
Isaiah and Ezra. Yep. They're my two boys. Isaiah will be 8 Sunday, so happy early birthday, son.
No, he's not.
Yes,
8
he
years
is.
old.
8 years old.
He's a grown man.
This goes out on Monday, so it will have been his birthday.
Oh, see there? There we go.
Happy
Sunday
early
is his birthday, the 10th.
Yeah,
That's
so-
nuts.
Yeah.
So he's in third grade? Second grade?
First grade. You're supposed to be in second grade. Did the whole repeat. So
Yep. Look at him.
first game this season, flag football, took it to the house.
Took it to the house.
And also spiked the ball too.
How'd the refs like that?
I told him that he couldn't do that. And the bad part is he spiked it before the goal line.
No! Classic mistake.
Yeah, but look, you got to have a level of swag about you if you're going to be my son.
That's right. And that's just part of it. Sometimes you do it a little too early.
You win some, you lose some.
Do they mark it at the 1? Or they just
5.
give it to him? He spiked it on the 5.
He thought the 5-yard line was the goal line.
At least he saw a line.
he saw a line and he spiked it. He got
that's
confused,
awesome.
got excited. There wasn't a kid with 10 yards around him, so
That's incredible. Flag football is a crazy time because that's, there's sometimes it's just a miracle if they actually throw and catch it, or sometimes they'll break a run and the kid's just gone. I mean, it's just.
tell Tyler Carroll that anytime he wants to smoke with me and Logan and our team of student pastors, we'll take on his team of student
That's
pastors.
right. All day. All day. Steven, any last words? Things we want to say?
I was gonna say you probably shouldn't toss to me because my camera died like an hour ago.
But they still hear you.
Okay. Sorry that my camera died an hour ago. Logan left me with uncharged batteries.
But we had an incredible baptism video.
I didn't watch it. I was asleep. I was supposed to be on vacation. Yeah. Shout out to the UK. They don't want me there. Apparently, this is the second time we've tried to go and we didn't get to go. But yeah, so I was supposed to be back today. So I took the day off on Sunday and I slept.
Yeah.
I had the stream pulled up, but I fell asleep within like 5 minutes.
All right. Go FSU. Better luck next year.